Okay, the countdown has been and gone, so let us get it underway with Season 2 of King of the Castle. This game is fantastic, so of course, had to have more of it. Last we left off, the chiefs reigned supreme. They were able to see through their nefarious scheme, topple the Dongle dynasty, and cast out the barons and the patricians, who in their own way shot themselves in the foot. The patricians, true to their ways, refused to use any of their ill-gotten gains. They were filthy rich, but they simply would not invest it in their country, and they certainly wouldn't invest it in their military, nor assassins. They squandered their wealth, and for that they all died, and have been paved over with the Grandees of the South, one of the new factions that we haven't seen before, and now we will see in action. Similarly, the barons, they had everything. They had the military, they had the infrastructure, they had the political strong arm. And what did they do with it? Well, once again, they killed themselves. They joined an already failed rebellion when they already had victory within their grasps. So it was all there for the chiefs to take. Unfortunately, my failed seduction of the merman left me in a precarious situation where the chiefs were able to topple the monarchy and take over. So that is why we are here. And we are now. So the oldie moldies have been paved over. Now we have the counts of the East, of the Grandees of the South, and of course the surviving chiefs. Everybody has had the slate wiped clean. So no matter where you are or who you were, you have $1,000 dues, and you have not yet been killed. And the Dongle dynasty is long gone. Now we have Monarch Ernest of the Hecklerock dynasty. And if you don't know Ernie Hecklerock, then that's a terrible loss for you. He is the main man behind motorsporting. And now he fancies his chance with political intrigue. Let's get it underway. You can join in at any time. It was more your mad ramblings about unholy fish marriage than your failed seduction, says Zingus. Success requires no explanation. Failure begets none. So as we can see, it's no barons in the south. We have the Grandees instead. We've got the north, who actually go quite far north and south. You can really see the power that they've built up over the years, almost entirely in capturing the capital, whilst the east kind of look like a bit of a plague attached onto the country. Everything seems pretty zeroed here. Authority, stability, treasury, all looking quite normal. These stats will be interesting, though. Look at that. These must be vanilla stats for everybody, so the chiefs are not that great at trade or farming, but have got a considerable military. Nay faith at all. What about the counts? Apparently they're quite good at farming. The Grandees are good all-rounders, but compared to these, that's quite a lackluster military, but holy moly, the faith. Could it be that we finally have a run where faith is useful for anything? We'll soon find out. It is time for the coronation to begin. I've scheduled the coronation to take place in a week's time, but we can't delay any further. We must all praise Ernie Hecklerock. What must we do? The council will decide what we do. Yes, of course. So I'm sure you know how this works. Let's get it underway. You decide what happens. In my own coronation, will we spend the royal treasury trying to put me at a bit of your mercy early on? Remember, if any of these values here get zeroed, I am ousted, and that's bad for me. Will we have a religious ceremony? Maybe finally get some faith play on the go? Will I be tossed into the river to lower my authority yet raise my stability? Or will we say damned to the traditions altogether? Let's find out. I'm gonna have no dog in this fight. It is up to you. Also gets me a little idea of how things are going. It does look like the Grandees, who already have the most faith, are trying to pitch in on the matter and elevate faith yet further. I suppose the more important faith is to the kingdom, the more they're going to benefit from having the highest one. Then again, the plague on the nation seems fit to reduce my treasury. Well, it's all an investment in the country, so I guess that works out. Also, cheers, Beast. Celebrating Ernest Hecklerock's ascension. A lavish parade, jugglers, fountains of wine. The treasury has been impacted, yes, and it will be impacted many times more. I rather wanted to do that before anyone's scheme gets underway, but I think that only starts until next turn, right? I guess we'll find out soon enough. Let us introduce ourselves to the council, even though we've just had our vote. First duty is meet the Council of Nobles. They hail across the country. Chiefs of the North, we're all too familiar with you. The gilded Reste, giant axe in hand and tattooed teardrops on the face. You'll need it dealing with us lot. Yes, the chiefs are troublesome, aren't they? We've seen exactly how you operate. The Counts of the East. Ooh, very sharply dressed Protozomac. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, Your Highness. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. We don't talk about Jock Dongle. He's still off being, I think, a mattress company's social media manager in Rio, if I remember his fate well. Enough? How about that? May the 9th Goss bless your reign. How nice. Your Holiness, I trust you will conduct yourself with honor and faith. There's a first time for everything. Thank you for the introductions. You sit back. Is this the kind of council is like? No wonder your father told you to avoid the throne at all costs. Ernest Hecklerock having a father? Unthinkable. We must consider our path to victory. Hasn't gone well for the monarchy in the past, but we know it can be done. Your Majesty, when you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? I shall maintain the peace, you see. Admirable, but let's improve the kingdom's stability as much as possible. Lovely that my nobles just immediately get to know that in order to scupper me, all they have to do is hurt stability. Bah humbug. But stability is good for me in two ways. It'll advance my own ambition, but it will also stop our factions from rising up because they have to have better defiance than authority and stability. I forget if it's better than the highest, lowest, or the middle, but whatever. Cross that bridge. Evening, says the calmest gamer. I hope you had a good Christmas and holiday before Christmas. That doesn't parse well, but yes, sure. Most of my days are good. Okay, end the season, and now... Oh god, they're at it already. It has to be higher than both, thank goodness. Guthilda of the Sea Space Echo Clan's sinister northern troublemaker. They scream like a fallen god. We know that I should be on the throne, not the imposter. Monarch Ernest. How do we make that happen? So this is for the chiefs and the chief only to decide. They have 30 seconds to decide how they're going to go about overthrowing the throne. Will they try to raise stability, which would work alongside their glorious monarch? Will they raise authority? Also works for me, just maybe not as well. Or will they try to lower all faith, which will put them on an interesting conflict with the Grandees? It seems like talking about these other two has been a waste of time. The chiefs seem rather united in the front, although there's always the joker in the back. Azura Zeon insists that we lower the faith. Treacherous heathens. Well, at least we'll be fighting side by side over one matter. But how much do you have to raise it? It's going to say something like raise to 5 or more, and then I feel the pain. The chiefs plan to hold the monarch hostage in their own palace. They must lull the spy master into a false sense of security. Raise stability, yeah, to 5 or more. Ridiculous, you already get that. What about the others? The Grandees, Verad. Sinister southern firebrand, bathed in sunshine and droning on. A false pretender occupies the throne. My claim is ignored. Grandees of the south, this is a stain on our honor. Do appreciate the way they spell the honor here. How shall it be answered, though? Show me your honor. Will they lower stability, which will put them against both myself and the chiefs, but that would certainly advance them to the cost of all others? Raise the treasury, that would be nice. Or raise their own farming. God, their farming is already quite high, so that seems like it could be a bit of a freebie. I can see some vote B coming in. Jouable, Ask Dave, JJ Nitro, Matty Mayo, Ninjin, all seeming to go against the grain. Could it be early discord within the Grandees? Fervor may require them to be faithful. Just raise their own farming, but how much? They've promised a first miracle. Oh, going down the miracle route, are we? Food for all. Raise their farming to 5. Oh, come on, you've already got 6. Geez, so that's just a freebie for the Grandees and the Chiefs. Now remember, that's not only my problem. You are fighting amongst yourselves as well, so if you just let each other get going with these, then you are simply adding to your own problems. Aiding the throne is not necessarily hurting yourself. How about the Counts? Kaja of the Mutenstew dynasty, charismatic Eastern orator. They sigh, my fellow Counts, in ancient times the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back the days of glory, but not whilst the false monarch Ernest Hecklerock. Where's the crown? Will they raise authority, lower their own faith, or lower their own defiance? So they have a couple of more or less freebies there if they want to go for them. It's up to them, I suppose. Are the Counts supposed to be vampires? I guess we'll find out more as time goes on. Hey, there's mutton stew. I could go for some mutton stew. Hard to get my hands on some mutton around here for some bizarre reason. Okay, once again, there are those that want to go against the grain. Blech. But they are going for lowering their own defiance. I suppose that keeps them off my back for a bit, but I do not like others advancing their scheme. It's bad for me, you say. They plan to summon a demon to possess the monarch, putting them under control. They must lull monarch into a false sense of security by lowering their own defiance to 4 or less. Now, they might think that's a freebie, but defiance is one of the easiest things for me as the monarch to control. So I probably don't have much to worry about the Counts if I can get this done within 2 seasons. That's one of the problems. They do not have to worry about that for very long, which is troublesome for me. Very troublesome indeed. So everybody's got freebie go ahead on their schemes. Terrifying. Right, what can I enjoy here? Definitely the iron choice. If you're going to vote the way I want you to vote, then I gain authority, which doesn't work for or against anybody particularly. Well, except for me. It's good for me. Why can't we all just have things that are good for me? Let's check out that honor guard, shall we? I will want to think about raising the Count's defiance, so going against them here is pretty much a free choice for me, but in what degree? The Chiefs are their most famous warrior heroes, the Counts are their Knights of Honor, the Down Rose, ooh. The Grandees have battle nuns. I love it when life offers me easy choices. We can't recruit the Northern Warriors. There's been a major scandal. They got drunk and burned down a church of the 9th. They won't come to the capital until this blows over. You need to pick somebody else. Tell me about these battle nuns. They've sworn a vow of silence. They won't spill state secrets. Faith and loyalty to the church above all. Even your own safety. Whoa, feisty. How about these Eastern Knights? It's years since they fought an actual battle, but they're good at etiquette and they mostly write poems. And the foreign mercenaries? Blech. No foreigners allowed in here. Get out. I've already spent too much of my money. My decision has been made. With bated breath. I do like the Marshal. She cuts right to the chase, and often just cuts. Give me those nuns. Yes. Begin with cheesing off the Counts. It must be done. The battle nuns arrive. They nod silently, their solemn steel masks betraying nothing. I could get used to this. Oh no, nobles have gone missing over in the east. Take another opportunity to cheese off the Counts of the East. Although it's a bit of a freebie for the Northerners and also for the Grandees, this one I only have 2 seasons to deal with, and I don't know if it counted the last passing of a season or not. So any opportunity I get to cheese off the Counts is an opportunity I wish to take. Their military isn't that terrifying because I'm pretty sure the Chiefs would just rip their head off, and I find it unlikely that the Grandees would side with the Counts if it came to it, although they could. Your Holiness, a number of Grandees have gone missing in the east. I propose we burn down all of the east. Is that agreeable, Krebsig? Sorry, Grande Krebsig of the south? They travelled to the Count Poland's castle, negotiated a trade agreement. They should have returned weeks ago. I know all about trade agreements. They likely never made it. They got lost. The East is a dangerous place. Who has gone missing? Do I care about them? Zalnax and Matty Mayo. Just north of my estate, there is a forest, a lakeland, and the haunt. I like to live remotely. It does wonders for your soul, apparently. I'm certain that this is the kind of a ploy by Poland. In a month's time, he'll quietly offer us a ransom. Blood and stars, don't be so foolish. We'll find them. We just have to decide where to focus our efforts. I have a proposition to all of the chiefs and all of the grandees. The proposition is very simple. We kill the Count. I see no reason to explain any further. My loyal subjects all understand that for the greater good, we must kill Poland. Oh, I love it when we get off to a good start. And the Counts, they say, no, he must be in the forest. Please don't kill us. This is your own fault. You chose the scheme that made me want to kill you. And I feel that we're all getting behind on this. A good old rousing round of kill the Count. Or as we like to say, stop the Count, but I did nothing. Not only that, but due to the increased authority of offing Poland, they will be less likely to be able to rise up. Everybody wins. Off with you, kidnapper. You heard the council. There we go. Clero is here to confirm that the Grandees are loyal to our beloved king. Look at that little smirky snigger he's got on his face. That is textbook Ernest Hecklerock. Today it's a killed Count. Tomorrow it's forced sprinklers on the motorsport races. After searching his keep, there is no trace of the missing nobles. Fury from the Count's... Count Poland offered you help in finding your missing nobles, but you execute him instead. Now your nobles are surely dead, and Poland died for nothing. You make a compelling argument, Miss Morrigan Nightshade. Please simmer with fury, seethe, and cope. Bye, Poland. Poland the Second has joined. Matty Mayo the Second. Nike the Second. Zalnax the Second. Your offspring will know that you died bravely for the good of the realm. How about a contentious sale in the north? So that's amazing. In one fell swoop, we all worked together and put an end to the Count's nefarious scheme. This is how the kingdom should be run. We need to come together, even if it's a little painful, for the Counts. My glorious friend, the Chief Rohal. Your greatness, this is an outrage. Wizard is trying to steal my bear. A bear, you say? It's not his bear. I was about to buy this beast. And then he turned up and he's shouting and raving. And about this bear, a magnificent specimen, a great addition to the menagerie. And that's the Northern Goddess, because they're all faithless buggers up there. Well, sounds like a matter for the council. Not only is it a matter for the council, I feel that as the Grandees and the Chiefs just both came to have my back in this matter, it's not fair if I get involved in this. That is give and take. So you may decide freely amongst yourselves how to handle the situation. Remember, Grandees, he was perfectly fine with letting you die. I'm fine with many things. A shift in defiance, a lowering of faith, and a lowering of wealth. I should point out to you that is not my wealth. Treasury is my wealth. This is an interesting point where it appears to be chiefs against the grandees, but where do the counts stand on the matter? And the counts slightly weigh more towards Chief Rohal getting the bear. Stop the count. The chiefs gratefully purchase the bear for an extortionate amount. Oh dear. Chief Rohal has seen a bit of a wealth decrease, but also defiance and a cordial. Grandees are not happy about the matter, but when are they ever going to be? The bear turns out to be a fearsome creature with a bright white fur, intent green eyes, and vast, taller than a wagon, sedated, taken around, and the faith does not go lower in the north, so no big deal there. All in all, I would say a great season. Treasonous elements within the council have been eradicated. And now it is time for our council to put their money to work. Now, this is something that they were nefariously bad at in the previous season, especially the patricians. Remember this well, the patricians are all gone, they're all dead, nobody misses them, and nobody will mourn them. And that is because they did not spend money where applicable. Right now, the chiefs have the opportunity, well, we all have the opportunity to build wherever, but in the chiefs' land, they could raise or lower stability. They could even do both for a net gain of nothing. Notably, though, the chiefs do want to raise stability for their own scheme. The counts can raise their own military. After what just happened, they might start thinking about wanting that. They could also choose to sabotage their own trade, whilst the grandees have an opportunity to boost their own farming for their scheme. Or, if another faction really doesn't like where the grandees are going, they could sabotage the farming. Options are there, but it is up to you to invest your money wisely. I should note that during the last season, the Barons of the March, they invested heavily inside their own country, and if they hadn't been so outrageously stupid in a few key ways, they would have had it in the bag because their part of the nation was just that strong. Seems that the grandees are pouring it in to boost their own farming, but the military might of the counts is there handily. There's just not the funding to raise stability for the chiefs to advance their own scheme. At least not currently. A few token efforts made to destroy the farming of the grandees, but it seems like the counts are very keen to build up their military. I highly doubt any of this money is coming from a non-count or countess. Similarly, I can't imagine any of the grandees, or anyone other than grandees, paying towards the aqueduct. So it could be that the chiefs have gotten a little complacent with the situation. Look at that. They did not want to shell out to stabilize their stability. If that comes crashing down, they might find a very hard battle ahead of them. I can afford to lose stability because it's a long way away from that benefiting me. I already have authority to make up for low stability. Actually, that could well be considered. Could be the grandees come slipping through here. Fascinating. Also, hats off to Bellcat and Zingis. Bellcat, rather. Bellcat and Zingis actually paying up the full amount, investing in success. Now, what is happening this season? Well, I need to find myself a spouse, don't I? Twisty Passengers, the Spy Master, there's one person I can't avoid, Mother. Oh, gosh. Yeah, Ernie Hecklerock's already 1,000,000 years old. This lassie, she predates known history. It's almost been a year, and I don't want to get married. Nonsense, you cannot rule alone. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference? Men? Women? Don't you mind? Well, Ernie Hecklerock is one fertile man. He needs a similarly fertile field to plow. Bring me a woman. And there's a clairvoyant visit from the counts. I find it hard to trust the counts coming around here. They are awfully unhappy for some reason. Couldn't really put my finger on why. Right, I missed that actually. This is true. Part the veil betwixt now and some ways off. Whatever you're saying is quite ridiculous. I look to the future, it speaks through me, no more and no less. I dreamt of Chief Sia Arthel being beheaded. A plague of bees will be cast down doom upon St. Caledon. Is this really my problem? I can't live without honey on my toast. Have him foretell the future to the council. Gain insights into mystery. Oh, damn. I don't have the opportunity to do anything about this. Well now. Wellity well now. Make Freakwin an official council advisor. I don't like the sound of that. That would certainly lower the defiance of the counts, and that would advance their scheme. I must call upon my faithful council once more and implore them that chucking away the counts into the dungeon is probably the best way forward for everybody. So this charlatan deserves to rot down in a cell. And who knows, maybe when he is there, we'll have the opportunity to behead him later on. Now, notably, the counts are not very happy with that, so surely we need to fight against this greater evil. They wouldn't color their country purple if they weren't evil. Not a lot of unity on this one, but it's coming together. Glad we can see eye to eye on the matter. It was a close one, though. Very close. Difficult bringing the council together on matters like that. But yes, this omniscient fortune teller failure, turned upon by one of his own counts, RS03, should be thrown away into the dungeon. But your highness! Okay, the odds weren't good on it, but I still wanted to chuck him away. He yells out, he's dragged away. The monarch's iron grip will rust and crumble away. Beware, beware. So you actually lowered my authority with what you say, but into the prison you go, as is only right. And I must extend a heartfelt thanks to the chiefs and the grandees for their continued support on council matters. I will remember this come tax season. Blood and stars, what in the ninth name is that smell, says the croissant. Bit of lavender oil, a little rose, it's vile. Stay away from me. Won't do you much good. Everyone in the south is bathing these days, all thanks to the aqueducts. Where have you stolen this idea from, Baskinger? I must say, you do smell rather nice. Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. In fact, the council should establish public bathhouses in cities all across the kingdom. Doesn't warm water pucker the smelly old counts? They don't want to bathe. Something wrong with these people. I will concede that I am unable to foot the expense of this. So I must say that the Royal Treasury is firmly against footing the bill here. But otherwise, let it be brought to the matter of the councils. Should I be the one to bathe? Do you not like the old Hecklerock musk? One thing to note is that this will probably lower the defiance of the counts, so maybe I should have made that point earlier on. The dangers of bathing is also danger for the entire kingdom, as the scheme will likely succeed for the counts if we go that route. Just something to, keep in mind. It was something they kept in mind, and now it is up to me to handle the situation in the tiebreaker. Well, I think I could go for a wee bath myself. I will show you the benefits of warm, smelly water. Your servants scurry. They set up a huge golden tub in front of the palace. I disrobe. Nobody dares to even crack a smile. My earnest little Hecklerocks get bathed, and it's so soothing. Relaxation literally washes over me. I'm so calm. Suddenly, everything is better. And would you look at that? Ever one to scratch the backs of those that scratch mine, we ensure that the Grandees' wealth is accelerated. Far beyond that of the counts, that is for sure. Enjoy the wealth. Yes, enjoying wealth. That gives me an idea. The Labyrinth, pair of counts. Yeah, they were very quick to act on their scheme here. Fortunately, we have blasted it through the walls here. Last time I petitioned Monarch Ernest, they gave me this dreadfully suspicious look. They're all talking about it. The Crown really has it in for us now. Blood and Stars must claw our way back to their good graces. Clawing. Counts. They must lower the defiance to 4 or below. I'd like to see you try. So, we were all talking about scratching our collective backs. The Grandees were already just awarded a fat stack of money in that previous event. And look at that, the chiefs wisely invested and gained 500 wealth apiece. Other nobles gained 200. That means the counts gained 200. And I feel that that deserves to go straight back into the coffers. Chiefs and Grandees. You do understand that the royal treasury is, it got shaken a little bit by that big event that we had right at the start, which I certainly didn't vote on it. But, in a measure of good faith, I propose that Grandees and Chiefs, we all mutually benefit here. Treasury's gonna hurt, but I think it's for everybody's betterment. Whew, okay, I might need to go and tax your peasantry, though, because that stings. Please, sire, I have a family to support. Wise words from a wise king. This king knows that he needs to invest, but this is getting painful. Maybe this mysterious ship is full of gold. Your Majesty, a shipwreck has appeared on the edge of my estate. I hope it's full of money. Von Douglas is here to say, I think this is your dagger, my lord. Von Douglas of the Grandees, look at that money. You've already doubled your investment. How are people doing fiscally? Nobody even 4 figures within the counts of the East, but look at that, 2,200 and 2050 between the chiefs and the Grandees. And when we go to the bottom, who knows poverty? These ones know poverty. Sorry, Kaladin, but your economic decisions leave a lot to be desired by everybody else. So, Velislar, tell me about this ship. It's not even from the north. Its name is Serafina. It bears a southern flag. The vessel went missing a few months back. We feared she was lost at sea. She's been found on land on top of my favorite picnic spot. My common folk discovered only one survivor, a southern sailor, remembering nothing of what happened. My head's killing me. Well, southern sailor, you look awful. I feel awful, your highness. I didn't do anything. We were sailing southern waters, then nothing, and he's looking after. We must care for him. No, we must interrogate. Well, if there's one thing that's not going to happen, it's the Royal Treasury spending everything it has left and losing the game for me. So I must veto this, but maybe we can work out something else. No, we cannot. As long as that doesn't happen, all is well. Maybe the chiefs could pay out their own pocket to investigate the wreck? Or should we just leave him be and molder away the wreck? Bizarre choice here. Why can't we just liquidate the ship down for much-needed monies? Surprisingly, some chiefs are actually backing the idea that the chiefs themselves pay. I did expect this to be backed by other factions, but I didn't believe that chiefs would. Pepperan, Vesco, Kira, Slime Dragon, they all want to pay. And who am I to stop them? Doo-doo. Why must we foot the bill? The Adventurers Guild is always hungry for cash. They put together a ragtag band, and they led by a woman named Shania. We'll be back, don't you worry, we never fail. Well, some of the chiefs might feel a little ill done to there. Note that those counts certainly voted for that to happen. Well, that'll be something to look forward to on the next season. What about the Hungry Bear? I hope the bear is full of gold. Our wondrous bear is thriving in the north, your highness. Just as Skirnorn would wish, the god speakers have gained visions of new herbs and medicines. Trade grows yet further for the north. Well, yes, that is excellent news. She's eating a lot. The northerners know a thing or two about raising their own farms, huh? Perchance the bear would do better in a nice cozy menagerie. Well, thank goodness treasury too low to import for you. Should other nobles donate their crops to balance out the farming of the chiefs? That would lower stability, which would be bad for them. Should they feed their own bear? That won't go well. Their farming isn't very good. Or should they be transferred? Oh, dearie me. Perhaps I should turn to my nobles. You see, we can all work together here. If you tell me what you're likely to do, I could plug Iron Choice into it and we all benefit. People want D all the way, apparently, to transfer ownership, but that would lower stability, which is bad for the chiefs. But that's also good for me in a way. All right, if you insist that we're going D, my beloved council, then let us work together on the matter. This will be an easy way for me to see if I'm being hoodwinked by my own council. And I somewhat suspect that that's exactly what's happening. I feel that the hood has been winked rather handily. The chiefs insist that everybody else pay for their mistakes. The counts suspiciously back the chiefs in this, and the Grande are having nothing to do with it. In fact, the Grande pulled my leg towards D and then shotgun shifted over for C. How bizarre. Grumbling, the nobles gather their crops and send them to the chiefs to help them support the sacred bear. She grows sleeker and happier day by day. Farming gets rather ravaged across the place. Enraged people of the East. Oh, those counts. And would you look at that? The chiefs yet again come out on top. Better farming. More loyal. Peasants start to wonder openly why bears been giving special treatment over the people. Best not to question what the chiefs are up to. They seem to know what's best for all. I've found 3 potential matches from you, 1 eligible young woman from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely and secure a powerful alliance. Ooh. And to have and to hold, I suppose so. Your mother leads you to the Great Hall, where she's arranged 3 portraits on easels, and they're covered by cloth. All right, show me. So, Odwin, the first-born warthog of the Northern Slime Dragon clan. Typical Northern lass. Big and loud. Social graces of a goat. I can see the appeal. Then there is Nymphadoria, the eldest daughter of the Eastern Rai Rani dynasty. They had a hell of a time getting her to smile for this portrait. That's a woman? Okay, intriguing, I suppose. Then there's the south, Vina, eldest daughter of Thunder Ghost's lineage, reputed to have an ego the size of the sun. Nothing wrong with confidence. She's got in trouble with the Inquisition for her interest in potion brewing and the occult. Not bad, I suppose. Well, I can't really marry for love here. I don't have that kind of flexibility. What I could do is really punish the counts here by marrying into them. That way their defiance will be lowered such that they can't revolt, and if they do revolt, sucks to be them. You know, they are very close to revolting, and that could do some serious damage. It would also, funnily enough, block the chiefs a bit. Well, actually, no, I think next turn the chiefs get to advance, and so will the Grandees. Just let us rebel. What could go wrong? My lord, Jake, she'll drink your blood in your sleep. Like I said, I can't marry for love. Yeah, the revolts do make your spouse leave, which is why pinning down the counts and stopping them from being able to revolt, all the while keeping them allied through my beloved wife, might be the real power play here. I don't particularly want to marry the warthog. What if we rebel later anyway? Well, then I would say, are you sure you're going to have the chance? Because I'm going to lower your defiance in doing this. The Counts also had a silver mine. A silver mine, you say? We showed you the way of bathing! We are going to have our way with the Counts. Just try and mutiny on me. Well, that's the thing. They might. Well, now. The Royal Gamble. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I do desperately need money. But the Royal Gamble could work against me tremendously badly. I'd take that and say goodbye to the Monarch vote. Yes, yes. Must remember, we've got to work together on the Royal Treasury as well, for if that fails, it all goes to pot. Although a royal wedding could certainly aid matters. It's going to raise stability, which is actually problematic. It advances the chief's scheme, but honestly, we're working together, so helping the chiefs out is no big deal. Your wedding to Nymphadora is naturally the talk of the kingdom. For a week and a day, the capital is a giant party. Yes, do enjoy. Do you take this woman? Absolutely. No, of course I am. Could you imagine? They would not be happy. Right, make it so. We are married in the eyes of the kingdom. Yes, very good. Everybody is nice and placid. The kingdom is strong and stable. It's just not very fiscally viable. Did you see the 8 crows perched on the church tower? A dire omen. Oh, cheer up, we just got married. Instead of cheering up, she bursts into tears. The peasants have the right idea. They get married for love, not politics. Oh, to live the simple life of a commoner. We're both in this together, my love. You comfort her long into the night, listening as she expresses her doubts and fears. I've got a few things of my own to express. What else is going on here? There's some kind of... the adventurers who went off to investigate the ship. I sure hope they found lots of gold inside it. Who wins if Jake goes bankrupt? The most advanced scheme does, which is currently going to be tied between the Grandees and the Nobles, or at least it will next month. Troubling, to say the least. I need more money. Remember, I bailed both of these guys out big time at great royal expense. And I won't be able to do that again unless we work for the treasury together. Anyway, about that. Shani and the band have long returned, bringing bad news. We can only remember fragments, Your Majesty, like a half-forgotten nightmare, running down an endless labyrinth, twisting around you, coiling like a serpent. They couldn't reach the captain's cabin. But if we gave them better equipment, they'd do better. All chance-based, huh? They may return, they need better equipment. Don't let them go back. No one should explore. It's their choice. Let them do what they want. We do have the best chance in them being successful if we give them the better equipment. But I am sorely tempted to engage in the royal gamble here. It costs you, the nobility, nothing. But if we all come together, we can inflate the royal treasury, which means more tax breaks. But can we really trust the nobility to back this? Well, I turn to you. Tell me now. Can we come together? Can we inflate the royal treasury at no cost? No way, says Adverse. But Rested Pandy says, love me king. Of course you can trust us. Okay, I will trust my nobility. Let's do it. Herman, what is this? Okay, good. Glad we see eye to eye, chiefs. and Grandees. But I am seeing a certain faction that really wants to grind the kingdom into dust. They're a purple plague. Something needs to be done about these menaces to society. All right, thank you kindly, my noble friends. Voting is closed, the treasury inflates, and hopefully the better equipment will help them out. And it does. Excellent. Better quality compasses, map-making materials, and they rush off to the wreck once more. Chiefs tell anyone who will listen, adventurers are sure to come back in one piece. I never read that. All right, how about a plot? Who's plotting against the kingdom? How did you get people to go along with that propaganda, says Calmus Gamer. Frankly, I'm shocked as well. I really thought people would just want to spite me and kill my treasury. I just accepted that the treasury was going to be down at 800 now. It's at 1600. I've held them off as long as I can, but Chief Lizard insists on an audience. Concerns the end of the world. Privately, I think they've gone off the deep end. There's not much time, Your Majesty. Let me present to you my grand theory, the Schematica Maxima. I hope you understand, Lizard, that ordinarily you would already be an open-gaped face upon a pike lining my walls, but you're my glorious chiefs, so I will hear you out. Your predictably tyrannical rule and inexplicable decision-making. Manufactured spectacle, distracting, confusing. But I saw through it immediately. Right, I'm going to need that pike back. Everyone focuses on that. Frog people from the south scheme to take the throne and usurp the monarch. Straightforward from here. The frog people, led by Grandi Verdad, manipulate the kingdom's trade, farming, and military, and even faith to achieve their nefarious goals. He's saying that's typical chieftain superstition. Don't listen to them. They have no faith up there, you know. If they succeed, Verdad will take the throne. Verdad, you say? There's no Verdad. Plunging the kingdom into a reign of amphibian terror, mandatory pond spawning, and fly eating. Do you like eating bugs, Your Majesty? The only question is, what will you do about it? What do you mean this is a matter for the council? I beg your pardon? Although I have the opportunity to do something here, I actually think doing nothing is better, for it gives me a good idea of the motivations behind the nobles, in particularly, how do the Grandees feel towards the chiefs on this matter? Discord could be very disharmonious for the kingdom. The Grandees want blood, says JJ Nitro. Does he speak for them all, though? I have a feeling this is one of those situations where I should hedge my bets. No true chieftain will vote A, apparently. Yeah, well, the chiefs can't really afford to lower stability, so they probably won't vote for it. That means the others might. Okay. I'm actually going to help the chiefs out by doing this. If the enemies of the chiefs decide to fight against the chiefs, I will gain authority and use that authority to crush their enemies. That is my decision. And if indeed it was all a false flag and that's not how it goes, then things work out anyway. Although I am taking note that the chiefs are deciding to wreck my own authority. So maybe I made the misplay here. Certainly seeing a lot of unity from the Grandees to do absolutely nothing, though. But I hedged my bet, so it's all going to be okay. Unless this is a double hit to authority, in which case it's a lot less okay. Your authority is sky high. No, it could be higher. Could go up to 10, and I'd be open for 10. Right, the vote has passed. You're surprised by an eruption of laughter. Your spy master pulls you aside. It's common knowledge that each region is scheming in an open form. Nobles just tend not to talk about it in the open. There's no evidence that they're frogs, but they're still laughing. It's not your proudest moment as monarch. No great loss to me, though. It was, overall, an agreeable season. However, the schemes will now advance. Up in the north, they're hosting a grand feast. Our plans are doing better than expected. The Spymaster thinks all is well in the kingdom. Cats away, the mice will play. There's no honor in politics, my friend. The next step is to replace the palace watch. Oh, thank God I didn't take chiefs then. If the monarch cannot pay the watch, they'll look for money elsewhere. You must lower the royal treasury. Oh my days. Suddenly, the decision to take the gamble has become very, very dangerous for me. Okay. Might need to switch that out with something else. Prophesized Ninth Herald, finally manifested, la 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 la. Or so they claim. Peasants all over the south are flocking to you, Verdad. I knew you could do it. Praise be the ninth god. Praise be indeed, but this is just the beginning. With him on our side, we'll capture the minds of the common folk and lead a holy crusade against the false monarch. For the next stage, the Grandees must lower stability to 4 or below. Ooh. Okay. Not a freebie, but a very dangerous one for me, because I like high stability, funnily enough. Meanwhile, the questionable claimant, Kaja of the East, is having a bit of a hard time, and I intend to keep it that way. Okay, right. Things advance on, but it's dangerous times for me. Perhaps we should see... What was going on with that ship, anyway? Maybe the body unearthed is part of that? Sorry, your treasury is infested with listening devices disguised as coins planted by the frog folk. We need to chuck the coins out quickly. No, not my money. Chief Velos Slazar and his servants bring in a stretcher. The adventurers returned. And this is them? Oh, no, they found this. It's a corpse. It almost looks human. Ice crystals. Crystals, you say? Solid and glittering, you say? It was once a wizard, the source of the teleportation and memory problems. We must handle this carefully. We don't know what to do with the remains. Can a body be destroyed at all? Well, I certainly know what's not happening. Okay. Now, my normal choice right here would be saying we can all work together. Everybody can become wealthy if we put the body on display, benefit trade, lower faith as if that was even a thing, and on top of that, royal gamble so that the treasury can survive. However, I have a funny feeling the chiefs would not back that. The chiefs want to crush my treasury. Do not believe his lies. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Chiefs vote A, or D if A is vetoed, says Y2K. Yeah, the Chiefs want that money, that's the thing. The Chiefs probably want the top option. It's good for everything they do. I can't afford that $1,000 redo hit. I'm sorry, it must be vetoed. Everything else is at least not bad for me. Yeah, actively, we don't know how it's going to go. Couldn't help but notice there's an immediate surge in votes for the thing that has the lower chance of succeeding, not the higher chance of succeeding. Yeah, I should have expected that the Chiefs, you know, I scratched their back and suddenly they're putting the knife into mine. However, strangely enough, would you look at that? The Counts and the Grandees are working together to ensure that the Chiefs don't get their way here. Maybe everybody gets their way. We succeed! Oh, but the Chief still makes it out. What? As dry as the ship is, the wreck makes excellent fire. Rumor has it that when torches are set, spiraling tornadoes spread up into the sky. After the ceremony, bountiful crops twine up from the ground before spectators' eyes. The north becomes fruitful in farming, and the wealth of Veloslazar has increased. That was pretty damn good, especially if you're Veloslazar. Look at that, richest Northerner around. The smug smile is telling. And Velasazar is there in chat to say thank you for your money. I too, Calmest Gamer, are wondering why everybody else chose to help the Chiefs, but that is their vindication. What about the avatar of Skuranorn? Chief Rohal and his friends have locked themselves in their lodges. They're refusing to come out. They say they're learning the ways of Skuranorn. Meanwhile, the trade routes are drying up because of their negligence. Dangerous thing indeed, Your Majesty. Now we tolerate the heathen practices in the north. But this is too much. What does it mean? They're eating poisonous moss, making horrible concoctions, having visions of a pagan god? What do we do, Your Holiness? Our traders will lose their livelihoods if we can't sell grain to the northerners. Well now. Wellity well now. Grandees and the Counts. I have a proposition to make. It looks like both of you can make good money and boost everything going on in your lands if we come together on this matter. The Chiefs are unlikely to be happy about that, but this is a way for everybody to be nice and rich. Jake, it's D. Move it along. It ain't D. Yep, I know the Chiefs want the D here because it advances their plot and it just advances everything to what works for them. But I implore my grandees and my counts, we can all become richer if we vote for A. Please join me on this one. Worth noting that if the Chiefs get their way and they ransack the royal treasury, they will be winner by default, as they are the most advanced. But that is your choice to make. Seems that is people's choice to make. Look at that. Holy moly. They all want to sink the royal treasury. They're not interested in the scraps I offer them in terms of money. And I wasn't able to block that one either. Painful loss for the crown. Ouch. The chiefs slumber under the influence of magical herbs, an assassin strikes and the bear is dispatched. Treasury is now not looking very hot, the north is not happy, and the stability has taken a shot. The chiefs are looking very strong right now, and everybody else just played into that. That hurts. That hurts quite a bit, but hey, they learned a bit of faith up in the north. It's due to the Grandees' stability loss too, yeah, but I couldn't veto it. That was the problem. It was always going to be a problem. Right, helping... Oh, I'll help you with that. Ernest, there's something I want to ask of you. Whatever could I do? I run a very successful lumber company, but the current laws are a little restrictive for my trade. Tariffs, regulations, you know how it is. Maybe you could push for some changes, eliminate the cumbersome quality standards of Eastern lumber. Preferential treatment, you say? It's only fair. The other regions just can't compete with us in the lumber trade anyway. It all sounds very agreeable. Relax the quality standards on Eastern lumber. Treasury goes up. We like that. Relax the standards on all lumber. Stability goes down. That would advance the plot of the Grandees. So the Grandees are almost certain to vote for B. Do nothing's a bit boring. Starting to think that everybody wants to kill my treasury. But you know what? Do your worst. Oh no. Not my stability. What'll I do without that? If only I'd done this one first, I could have put the money choice on this one and come out on top. But this one works as well. Yeah, there was no way that B wasn't going to win in this one, sadly, but it can be made to work. For me, that is. So yes, Wittingly, the stability goes down, but unwittingly, the authority goes up, and I might need to put that to good use. I can't believe you're just letting this happen. I should have known those ingrates would vote against me. Relaxation of standards has lowered production costs and boosted the economy of all regions. Very good. A lot of collapsed buildings and avoidable accidents. Teetering stability. So it's going to be a good advancement for the chiefs and the grandees. This, for me, is troublesome. But now even more could be done. Boosting the farming of the chiefs, lowering the authority, again within the chiefs. Upping the count's faith, lowering their own farming with deer parks. Lowering the overall stability of the realm of the prison and the grandees, or lowering their own military. It's an interesting choice because nobody needs any of this stuff right now. There's no effect for the defiance on the counts, and the treasury and stability are already where they need them for the grandees and the chiefs. So this, if anything, is a spite auction, or a long-term auction. The faith for the counts, the farming for the chiefs. Those are two things that could work pretty well for both of them. The grandees don't have anything to boost themselves, but they could always stunt the growth of the others. Well, I'm not liking the fact that people are paying into lowering my authority, but I suppose what I like isn't really of that much consequence. I mean, they're losing stability or losing authority. Why couldn't you spite each other and not me? What have I done? I suppose what I have done is made the grandees excessively rich. I'd have to do something about that soon. All that work I do for my stability early on, and it comes crashing down without me able to do much about it. Although I suppose I should be grateful, it still sucks up a bit of the nobles' money. 3 stability is shaky, though. I do not like the look of that. Got to be very careful to ensure that there's not a civil war that brings it all the way down to 0 and ends my reign. Right. So about that heir of mine. Tell me we're getting busy. It's stale. There's no spark. She cares more about maximizing profits. Oh dear. The royal wedding was magnificent. Yes, I'm very happy. Fulfill your duty. You've done well. Something's missing. An heir, young, assured loyalty. We will have a child together. Traditional method, no objections. But yes, I need to get down to business. Might be difficult, even more difficult if the counts don't play ball. Bribery. I might be able to make money off of bribery. I've heard some disconcerting whispers about Chief Poporsh of the North, who's been discreetly offering coin to your palace watch. Just a gift. Gifts of enough coin to retire with. I had no idea he was so generous. Your watch have been grumbling about their low wages. If we don't give them a raise, those bribes will look very appealing, but we can't give them anything with the treasury this low. We need to bring this matter to the council. You don't have a shred of proof of any of this. Don't make me laugh. I trust the rest of the council will join me in scorning these lies, while the rest of the council might realize that the chiefs are very close to bringing up to their final part of the scheme, and this is an opportunity to completely stop them whilst also advancing the grandees. Well, that does sound quite good. Okay, here is my offer, counts. If you back me on this one, I promise a bribe for you. Ironclad. I know we didn't see eye to eye at the start here, but the politics, they have changed. They have grown dynamic, you might say. Seems that the Chiefs are not very happy about this, but I think the Chiefs are starting to show their true colors. They've gotten a taste for victory, and they're turning into rabid dogs around it. I thought we could truly work together, but that kick to the groin you gave to my poor treasury, it hurt. Also, thank you kindly, Counts. You know, that business with the execution was nothing personal. In order to mint production of coins, we inflate food prices, we leave thousands starving. Most of the extra cash goes straight to the palace watch, and this will buy their loyalty. As it should be. We've also got a prophet on the march. Your Majesty, I assume you're familiar with the Grandees' latest puppet, the so-called Ninth Herald. What a fraud. I mean, great to have you around. The Grandees are pushing Verdad as their claimant to the throne by force if necessary. Kingdom's going through a rough period. Stabilize as much as quickly as possible. Well. Well. Tough choice, that. I think a tax break is in order. Here's the fun thing. This stability raise will not be enough. They've already got this. Veto A, you can't afford this. But I can afford it. That's the thing. I have the money. I even have the authority to handle option A. A would let us revolt, fellow counts. It is tight, though. You know what? I'm willing to live on the edge on this one. Do what you must. What is life if not teetering at the edge? Tax breaks to the common folk. It is going to be within 100 of the chiefs being able to advance. Terrifying. Also, the Grandees are strangely split on that one. How about that? Okay, an excellent use of my laws there. I was able to maintain my authority, or I hope so. There we go. Financial rework, readying my own stability, although they're still going to advance here. Imperious, iron-fisted. Good enough. A dangerous season for me, to be sure. I need to improve the kingdom. But at the same time... Yeah, here we go. Up in the north, the chief has gathered his fellow plotters. Some of our bribes have been accepted. Not enough. The monarch is paying the palace well enough that their loyalty isn't easily swayed. Chiefs reveal their true colors and instantly cannot advance. How about that? Have some of the watch in their pocket. Isn't that enough? No, not yet. Can't make a move until we're sure we won't be discovered. They still need to lower that treasury. But what about the Grandees? The Grandees played some good cards there, I must admit. Nobody ever looked towards that stability until it came rocketing down. If our army were strong enough, we could take the palace by force. A crusade sounds promising. I leave it to the ninth god. He'll intervene on our behalf. Oh no! Oh no! No, do the crusade! Think of the patricians. What would the patricians do? I'm asking as a grandee, do we win if things go to 0? If my treasury authority or stability reach 0, the most advanced scheme wins. Currently, that is the Grandees, who are at stage 3, the chiefs are at stage 2, and the counts are at stage 1, meaning a revolt is very much on the counts. Very much works for the counts right now. Oh boy. Well, not if stability would go to 0 from it, and it does go down by 2. Okay, now this is exceptionally worrying for me, which probably also means it's worrying for you. The Grandees only need to raise their faith, which is already very high. They need a miracle. Faith must be at 9. It's very, very easy to go up by 2. After all, they can pay for it, and some events will just raise it. So, grave concern. Well now, I promised the counts a bribe. Bearing in mind, though, they were at cruel tax earlier, so from their perspective, a bribe is simply bringing it down to the common tax. So I'm glad we can see eye to eye on that one. The chiefs have shown their true colors, so they need to be taxed cruelly if necessary. And the Grandees, it's nothing personal, but you are about to win, and I cannot allow that. So we're going to have to see it this way. The counts are scummed again. I mean, I certainly could give the counts some money. The question is, should I give the counts some money? They're not in a position where they can revolt. Please, my lord, a bribe for the counts. All right, calmest, I'm not made of stone. You can have your bribe. Yeesh. Okay, so the kingdom is in teeters. All the events are in the south? What? I don't like the sound of that. Sounds like stuff that's going to raise their faith. Okay. Is it too late for the final alliance here, my count friends? Who's even full of the money right now? How's that for wealth redistribution? Counts richer than chiefs? Although those grandees have suspiciously thick purses, don't they? Concerning. Deeply concerning. Your Highness, I'm ruined. Hordlings have occupied my vineyard. They've driven my staff away. A hordling? Grubby little creatures, like fat green babies with claws. Hard to kill. Fire's the only way. Permanently. What will we do? They're eating all my grapes. It couldn't, the good Lord help those who help themselves? My plight is of no interest to the grandees. Well, we better assemble the council. Now, should we burn the vineyard, lower the trading capabilities of the grandees, and lower their farming? Funny that. Strong arm the other grandees into sending military help? Or should we hire an adventurer from a guild to investigate? Can't really afford that treasury hit. It would advance the chiefs. But... This is a tough one, isn't it? Chiefs, we must make sure the kingdom takes its responsibility. So here's the thing, the chiefs obviously want B. I can't imagine anybody would want A, although maybe the counts would want A because it would reduce the power of the grandees. The counts also don't really have a say in the matter. I'm quite certain the grandees... Well, I'm not actually sure what the grandees would want here. If I royal gamble on C, then I don't really take any punishment out of this, and we potentially get a cool outcome. But I'd still just rather not have to use my royal gamble like that. The counts are apparently offering to vote C. We will support you, sire, if you do the gamble on C. This feels like a setup, but I am surely willing to put a bit of faith in my people. Surely. Surely. We, the chiefs, will vote B. We'll see about that. Alright, seems like the grandees are sticking good to what they said, and I think my bribe for the counts is paying dividends. They're also aiding this. Overall, this isn't good for me, and by me I mean by extension the kingdom, but we could make it work. Depends what the guild investigation finds. Hopefully, big fat stacks of cash. It was a good call on the royal gamble here, absolutely hedging my bets, but I'm going to be kicking myself if there's a vote later on, which I really wish I had the royal gamble for. I hope they don't find God. That would be bad for me. So yes, treasury up, treasury down. Easy come, easy go. Never fear, your majesty. Wait, didn't you guys, die trying to find the ship? I can drive them out without collateral damage. Ooh, well, we'll see if that works next month. What about this, though? I don't like all these events in the south. It's a lot of opportunities for them to raise their faith, which, again, ends the game with grandee victory. There were a lot of games that ended last season because other nations or other factions, out of spite, became kingmakers. Well, in the end, there can be only one. It was the chiefs last time. I don't recall the chiefs being kingmakers. An opportunity, Your Majesty. A Kurth ship sunk last week. Salvage the wreckage. Valuable things. Whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. The chief's just coming in. Very suspicious of Grandee movements. It might be off your coast, but it's our waters. By Morgana's cauldron, it's closer to the city of Birgit than any of yours, but you ceded the waters years ago in exchange for a chest of silver. You were having money problems, Your Majesty. Esteemed Council, don't let this liar fool you. Joe Pro, do you speak the truth? Should the Grandees salvage the ship? Should the chiefs salvage the ship? Salvage the ship but return the bounty to Kurth? Oh, hell no. Leave the wreck alone. Well, we're certainly not doing C or D. Tricky, very tricky. See, ultimately, it's chiefs versus grandees, right? So I turn to the counts. Counts, who are you? Wait, I got my doorbell going for some reason. I'll be back momentarily. Alright, there we go. As best I could tell, that was just a jolly jape, and it broke my concentration. Hopefully it doesn't come to bite me in the rear end right now. We want a bribe, my lord. Nothing of this is bribe-worthy, that's the thing. It all looks rather good, surely. The council vote for whatever you want here, as long as you continue to line our pockets. Can the counts be trusted on such a matter? Alright, based on the fact that the chiefs are the ones who are slightly behind in the fight between chiefs and grandees, I would call upon the council to aid the chiefs in this matter. I can't really see any merit to C or D, but B should surely make the chiefs richer, assuming it works out, which it may or may not. Quite the split in the counts, though. I'm not really sure this warrants a continuation of lining the pockets, but all bar 2 detractors of the grandees wish to take it for themselves. Fascinating. Alright, chiefs, hopefully you render unto Caesar for this decision. Alright, but it's in our waters! Iron-fisted, grumbling, more grumbling. Move over, the council's word is final, is it not? They succeed, and the chiefs do get some wealth. Now that's important, because if the grandees had secured the wealth, they could pay their faith up. And that would be bad. It's one thing to not have them get the money, though. It's another thing to reduce their money. Alright, but we're still not done with the bleeding grandee south. Yes, increase their defiance. That's going to go well. Okay. What are they going to do? What exactly is anyone going to do? Your Highness, the merchants in the south are complaining about bandits. The southern roads are too dangerous to travel. Even with the guards, gangs of highly organized, well-armed highwaymen will ambush the merchant caravans and steal everything. Steal everything, you say? And this is why I saved my veto, because there's one thing that's not happening here. Oh, Jesus, why? Why? Oh, my days. Well, this isn't good. Well, I mean, I should make it be not as bad. Okay, so obviously the chiefs want to advance their scheme by voting for D, killing off my treasury. I implore the rest of the council... With what, though? I don't really fancy the military choice at the bottom here, and that would certainly hurt the military of my would-be supporters. So I would rouse the Grandees and the Counts to go for option B. B for belittle the chiefs. B for roundhouse kick a chief into the sea where they belong. For if they advance, there will be no stopping them. We've seen what they've been able to do before. Unfortunately, it seems like my plight is to the pleasure of everybody else. The bounty on the bandit scalps is going to hurt the royal treasury rather handily. There is an attempt to do battle-hardened regiments routing the bandits, but I suspect that the scheme of the chiefs of the north is about to reach fruition. Surprising that, though. I'm very surprised that we have counts and grandees advancing the scheme of the chiefs. Actually, I'm most surprised about the grandees. The grandees are close to victory, and yet they assist the chiefs going further on. This is what I'm talking about with spite voting. Maybe it has something to do with me taxing them extra cruel taxes. 10 gold per bandit scalp. Adventurers, bounty hunters, other scumbags. Well, at least it didn't raise faith. But faith could yet raise. The game's doing that thing again where it doesn't want to work well with my panning, but oh well. Morgana's with us, my friend. The Palace Watcher in our pocket. They took our money. The kingdom could barely afford to pay them a living wage. Now we must plan the next steps. What will the chiefs get up to? Will they lower my authority or raise their own military? That doesn't seem sporting. You already have the strongest military. Oh, dearie me. Counts, we might need to make a great pact at the last minute here. Times look bad for the kingdom. I hope my beloved wife is willing to produce. Over the next few months, we'll have our troops infiltrate the capital disguised as beggars. We'll swap places of Palace Watch one by one. Surrounded by our lads, it'll be too late. A helpless little fly caught in our web. I'm on board. Turn the Monarch into our puppet, counts and grandees, but we'll have a strong army. We must raise military to at least 9. Well, that's troubling. How are you feeling there, counts? 2 counts meet going, the Chancellor sent me a fruit basket in thanks for aiding the crown. Yes, that did happen. Beady little eyes focused on us. We're not careful and must evade him at all costs. They must lower their faith to 4 or less. Well, that's a freebie for the counts. Dang. I wonder if this game has any kind of smart chasing like that. The golden choice, personal wealth. Ooh. Okay, that's tempting. Might get me out of a few grim situations. But Iron Choice is actively getting me out of some grim situations. No, the time has come. If I must pay my people to aid the kingdom, then it shall be done. Bankruptcy looms. I don't like the sound of that. Also, where's my wife? And her fiery undercarriage? The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. Well, suggestions? Raise taxes, we don't have many other options. A bank loan, crown jewels, cracking open the tombs. Is that 10,000 treasury? That's rather a lot. A loan, perhaps also not. Sell off some of the royal jewelry to wealthier nobles. I have the authority to spare. I don't really have the stability to spare. Yes, I like the sound of that. Auction off necklaces, gold rings, humiliating affair. Selling off symbols of power to make you look weak and desperate. Ooh, look at this tiara. Fetching, isn't it? Don't mind if I do. It's all yours, Velos Lazar. Enjoy being the former richest of all of the Northerners. A scepter. It's like I'm the monarch. Oh, it's all yours, Preserp. Alright, spare me this. Unfortunately, the money comes up only after the chiefs have advanced their plot. And once again, the South are stealing all the events. Hope that bandit bounty is going to pay dividends to me. About now. What? I wanted to talk about the bandits. I have some concerns. Oh, God. It's quite hard to verify a scalp. It's just a tangled mess of hair. The adventurers, the bounty hunters are definitely killing some bandits, as well as people who like bandits or who may have been near bandits. We're just paying adventurers to murder random people at this point. I've ordered it to stop. Trade has gone down. Stability has gone down. But they still plague the... That sounds like your problem. Why is this continuing to be my problem? Ah. Oh, golly gosh. So here's an awkward position. Since the chiefs and the grandees are both equal, I don't know who would win if they destroyed my treasury entirely. Well, it's no longer in anyone's particular interest to destroy the treasury, so I hope they won't go on that based on that. Very well, if needs must, I will open the royal purse. If you're all willing to just ignore the entire matter, we can all step away richer. If you agree with my empty promises, you will walk away a richer noble. How about that? Well, the counts agree, and the chiefs are quick to pick up the coins. But the defiant grandees, now this is an interesting one. The grandees are, quite a few of them, not taking the extra money, which will make them proportionately less wealthy than the others. Oh yeah, this brings them all out of the woodwork. Meaning they will have less leeway when it comes to paying their faith up, which they likely will do. Love me gold, says Rested Pandy. Yeah. A few weeks later, the South, the bandit problem is worse. The outlaws are more daring. That was an interesting one because we actually paid to really hurt the grandees in the long run. A double dip on trade. Could be good. Could also stop them getting dividends at the turn of the season. More complaints. Why is there nothing but problems coming from the grandees? Yes, the chiefs might be close to victory, but at least they're not complaining the entire time. Your Majesty, the richest merchants in the South have bribed the grandees to give an exclusive charter. They now control all trade of perfumes and dyes, the most valuable of goods. It's a monopoly, Your Majesty. They're scamming the public by fixing prices, pushing smaller traders like myself out of business. Something must be done. Demand the treasury get a taste of the bribes. Monopole sounds like good business. Well now. Well now. Declare exclusive charter. Declare it null and void, huh? Bear with me, everybody. If we declare this null and void, We can reduce the money of the South. They'll be angrier, yes, but they will also be poorer. Counts and chiefs, if you can see eye to eye on this matter and keep them out of the royal coffers, we could all step away a little richer. Angrier but poorer, a fair trade. Well, Ninjin doesn't seem to agree. He seems very peeved at the idea. Oh, I mean, I wouldn't have minded a taste of that bribery for myself, but oh well. Thank you, my nobles. It's good to see that there's still some loyalty, backbone, and honor within the council. The Royal Treasury thanks you. You order soldiers to break up the monopoly, accompanied by an even more fearsome threat. Lawyers. The charter is declared illegitimate. The Grandees lose their investment. They are aggrieved. Oh, my heart bleeds for them. Some of them have lost their money. Tragic, really. Smaller traders in the south flourish once again. Prices return to a sensible level and the commonplace rejoice. Thank you, my council. Okay, we swam through a very turbulent season there, but our head is still above water. And, more notably, still on the shoulders. However, the schemes they are advancing, and I couldn't help but notice that my crotchety old wife is refusing to spill out some flesh and blood for us. Could we please change that? Maybe. Oh, there we go. Finally. Little Ernest Hecklerock has had his offspring. My son. Cemented stability of the kingdom. Cinders coming in to be the first to congratulate me. Ah, thank you. You know, I think me and the counts might end up seeing eye to eye on more than a few matters. Most pleasing, your highness. Congratulations on finding an heir. However, my poor stability needs to raise if I want to win. We've been crippling my stability this whole game when I didn't even need it. And again, the South are rising up. Okay, the chiefs probably have their own agenda here, but I must call upon the counts. We need to take this opportunity to just cut the Grandees down to size. They are just being like a screaming child, and like all screaming children, well, we'll put it to the council, shall we? Every day more bandits attack our roads. We're overrun with scoundrels and outlaws. I've looked into this, your majesty. The leader of sorts has emerged from among the rabble, lawless scum. He calls himself the Gallows Man. He was given the noose twice, survived both times. Vicious fellow, slaughtering penniless pilgrims just for the sport. They're terrified. Who cares who he is? We need to kill him and teach the others a lesson. Place a hefty bounty, a spy, rat them out. We've already wasted enough time on this. Let's move on. I mean, none of this looks good for them, right? I'm not even sure I need to get involved in this. Get out of here. I'm sick and tired of all things you Grandees are putting me through. There is desire for a bounty, notably from the Grandees, but it seems like the other factions are kind of cheesed off with you overall. Could come down to the wire, this one. There's a slight desire for a hefty bounty, but there's also a desire to just be done with these jokers. And it ends up tied, which means your glory... Oh, not this again! This game has an awful bug where if it splits, sometimes it just doesn't give you an option to do there. Ugh. I think that means we have to come out and then restart it, but it should give us back the same thing there. That means you have to rejoin, I'm afraid, so join in swiftly. Just more... I didn't scum anything, Zingus. You guys couldn't come to a decision. Alright, so in case you're not paying any attention, you just have this thing running on the side. Now is the time to whap over to your keyboard and punch in !join so we can get back to where we were. I don't think this game's going to get any bug fixes at this point, sadly, since it's a done thing. Nothing broken here. Yeah, okay, see, there we go. Likes to break every now and then for reasons unbeknownst to me. Can I click on one of these to get rid of them? Ah, whatever. Right, so surely what we need to do here is just vote exactly the same way as before. We had a wonderful tie, remember? You just need to tie again, but then not put in further votes. It's that simple. Of course, now you know how each other vote, so, I suppose if I were a vindictive person, I would watch through the VOD and see how people vote and if they change it at all. So all we need is a glorious tie, and then we just stop voting. Oh, that wasn't a tie. Well, that's fine, as long as we move on from this horrible event. We've wasted enough time and resources on you paltry people. I don't care how mutinous you are, get out of my face. Destitute Grandee again. Can I get rid of this? What is this event here? We've locked an event into the back somehow. But I think if you click on it, yeah, there we go, it goes away. Please fix bugs. The adventure you set into my vineyard is not returned. Oh, God. Is there anything but problems in the destitute Grandee? I do not even have any money to pay my servants. I cannot sell the vineyard. Its worth has plummeted to 0. A loan for them. The treasury is looking a bit more fiscally hydrated. Can we trust our Grandee hen chest? Are you actually a noble here? Not seeing a hen chest here, which is weird. Why would they not bring in an actual person for this? I guess I could offer you a cheeky little loan. You'll repay within the year, you better. Oh no! Judging by the state of the wine industry, it'll be a while before you see a return on your investment. Ah, okay. Well, perhaps that was not my best choice I've ever made. Should have just told them to sod it. Right, so, interesting choices. The chiefs must raise their military. The Grandees must raise their faith. They both have the opportunity to spend their money on doing exactly that. However, only the top 2 win. So it might be the biggest brain play to pay for something else so that neither of them get that. Unfortunately, I do not have that power. It's entirely up to you, my beloved benevolent council. B and E, both surging right ahead. Come on, Ninjin, we need this. As if Ninjin would ever part with a penny to advance his own nation. Look at that, the counts. Noting that if they fund into the observatory, they can knock off one of their opponents. Very admirable. Very admirable indeed. Could somebody who does this tell me, if you back something but it doesn't actually go through, do you get a refund on the money or not? Could make it a little less risky to back the observatory, because the funds are drying up for the chiefs, who suddenly find that they are not able to raise their military quite as much as hoped. A few seconds remain, a few pennies between it, and the Grandees, oh, they surge up. They feel the fear. There we go, there we go. Troubling for me, I feel the noose wrapping around my neck and it's rather uncomfortable. Just one plink up of military or faith and things go grim. So surely I need to work on my ambition. Right, the start of your reign you said you wanted to be a peacekeeper. So far you've not convinced anybody. The kingdom is on the brink of chaos, your majesty. Current ambition isn't working. Stop the nobles from overthrowing you, you need to pivot. Change your image. Crush the disloyal nobles, smash their armies, force them to submit. Spread the zeal of the ninth god. Declare war on the Ashmolean Empire. The nobles will forget their schemes if you win. Don't listen to those fools. The scepter, the lost artifact. Gain that. Ooh. Crush all those plotting against you with an iron fist. Why, yes. That does sound like a good idea. A wise decision, Your Majesty. I'll begin putting together my plans, but it won't be easy. You must raise the overall kingdom military as much as you can. Thank you, chiefs. And, of course, raise your authority. I'll do my best. There cannot be a rebellion. It's close. The Grandees could scupper that with an immediate rebellion, but as long as they're just not above my authority, that could work out. You get your money back, Jake. There's no reason not to drive up the price, says Miss Morrigan. Thank you, my loyal countess. Tasty innovations. Ooh, finally, nothing happening in the south. City in flames. Oh, I better help my good friends over in the counts. Your grace. There's been a terrible fire. Where there were once buildings, there's now a field of smoldering ash and dozens of serfs have died. Soldiers got drunk, were fooling around. They tied a burning stick to a cow's tail as a prank. The beast went mad. That poor cow. I was hoping the council might unlock some funds from the treasury. I didn't agree on that. I did not agree on that. Okay. Well now. Well now. What's a man to do? Tricky, very tricky. Lowering stability is dangerous. Lowering military is dangerous. Choosing a gamble on a 50-50 is dangerous. It's all very dangerous. Got two options, and both of them I'm not too keen on. Alright, I gotta think here for a moment. Lowering stability is perhaps not the most dangerous thing possible here. Raising authority might be good, but my authority is already good. Raising defiance of the Grandees, not nearly as bad as it might sound. Because if they revolt, they largely throw away their opportunity to win. So I don't think they'd revolt if we gave them that. They might. It's always a problem. They probably wouldn't. These are the counts, Jake. Oh, yeah, good point. Count defiance means very little, although their military is quite good. That could be a problem. Lowering the Count's military isn't all that dangerous. Yeah, I suppose it's not. I feel a little fiscally at risk here, but whatever. Let's take a gamble. Always open to a good gamble. Although the gamble appears to be not paying off. Very much not paying off. How could this have happened? It's okay. That was all part of my plan. You didn't see it, but I did. Offer no help. I wonder if that's going to have some unforeseen consequences. Okay, send words. They'll be expected to rebuild their own city. They're mutinous. Their trade is down. My treasure got hurt there, and it's now a little unstable in the realm. Seventh take us. What's the point in having a monarch in the first place? You voted for this. Okay, tasty innovations from the Skywarper. I don't mean to exaggerate, Your Highness. I have pioneered the most incredible invention in the history of mankind. I was hosting a small party, playing cards with some old friends. Called a servant to bring me something to eat that was both tasty and convenient, as my hands are occupado. Please show me. He holds in the air a plate. Atop the plate are 2 slices of bread with 1 piece of meat wedged between them. It allows a hungry noble to consume 2 slices of bread, plus meat all at once, saving valuable time. The bread serves as the impregnable barrier, preventing one's hands from being besmirched by meaty juices. Magnificent. Naturally, since it's my invention, I propose that we name it after me. In a few years' time, I expect everyone to be enjoying a nice Skywarper for lunch. Cannot be made available for free. Every time it's consumed, I expect a small royalty payment. Hang on, what? Should we liquidate all the funds from other nobles over to Skywarper? Is that really what we all want to do? Truly? I have my doubts. But I guess it's up to our nobles to decide. This is going to keep coming back over the course of the run, I believe, just like we had the Starshone guillotine again and again. I suppose I should just count my blessings every time there's an event that does not involve people gaining faith or military. Because I am in a tumultuous situation. Very dangerous indeed. The voting has closed. Gods be good. They shouldn't have invented the snack if I hadn't specifically requested a convenient meal. What, that is enough to add 2? Okay, so Defiance is getting a little dangerous. That authority of mine is keeping me barely alive right now. He prostrates. But here's the servant. People call me Footlong due to my large feet. Footlong? I rather like the sound of that. Henceforth, it shall be known as the Footlong. And that does actually work out well for the trade of the chiefs. They might enjoy a nice dividend here as we end the season. Oh boy. Oh Christ almighty, what now? The treasury is not feeling too good because everything burned down over in the Grandees. The Count demand bribes, my lord. Demand? Demand? Just a little pat on the back, Jake, in monetary form would make us a lot less angry, says Morcus. You should take your money back from the north that stole your money. Okay, perhaps we should consider on a needs basis, means tested. Look at how filthy rich the chiefs are. Nobody should have that much money. They should all be as poor as, say, Jay Taylor. So absolutely the chiefs need to pay. The Grandees are also a little too grand, but if I do this, they could revolt. But if they revolt, they are not going to win. Oh dear. Can you afford our defiance increasing? Not really. That's the thing. It's not like the chiefs have a huge military or anything. Oh God. Ah, jeez. What's a man to do? You're right, I truly can't afford it. If the chiefs revolt, they'll kill me. If the Grandees revolt, I somewhat doubt the chiefs will support me in fighting them. If the counts revolt, they've got a surprisingly understated military. How did everyone get so angry at me? Okay, well, in situations like this, I think it's time to just back away. We can all live to fight another day, especially me. Let's see if my tyranny can't go somewhere good today. You've done some redecorating in the throne room, anticipating your future as an iron-fisted tyrant. When the marshal walks in, she whistles appreciatively. I like what you've done with the place. Lots of chains and spikes. Is that a working Iron Maiden? I oiled it up myself. You pull a lever in your throne, a trapdoor opens. A bunch of writhing snakes, all deadly, of course. Classic. Okay, I've been surveying the troops across the kingdom. Okay, tell me more. They're a complete mess. What? I can't afford to have them be any better. One of them won a fight against a training dummy. I've been asked to give him a medal. What do we do? I'll sort it out just like always. To improve your chances, focus on improving the kingdom's military and authority in the next 2 seasons. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god. Not again. Your Majesty, Grande Parappa has gone missing. They were traveling in their carriage in the same area that the Gallows Man and his murdered bandits are known to operate. No proof. Well, sad to see you go, Parappa. It's all gone wrong. When I heard about what happened to poor Grande Parappa, I was so enraged I sent my soldiers to track the Gallows Man down. They cornered him and his bandits. Well, that sounds good. The Gallows Man herded all the innocent villagers into a church. He's threatening to kill them all if my soldiers move in. Kill them all, you say? Kill them all, you say? Alright, bear with me here, chat. The freaking Grandees have been hogging the limelight this whole run. All because of this damn event quest line. Now, it's one thing to say, let's put an end to it, but I'm willing to put the royal treasury up for grabs. If you agree that we should just burn this whole place down, we can all walk out much, much richer and never hear from the Grandees again. The money is there. You need simply grab it. Oh no, I've dropped the royal treasury on the floor. Be a doll and help me pick it back up. Oh, I didn't even count it before I dropped it. I'll have no way of knowing if I got it all back. I'm glad we all came out of that richer. The innocent villagers die, they curse your name. The flames close around them, and the Gallows Man and his murderous bandits realize with grudging respect they could never hope to match the ruthlessness of the nobility. With the Gallows Man dead, the roads in the south are perfectly safe once again. As it should be. A terrible secret. Your Majesty, I bring urgent news. The Counts are deliberately eroding the power of the Church in the East. I'm glad it's the East and not the South. But the Counts have been so helpful lately. Must have been a ruse to give you a false sense of security. Why are they doing this? The Counts are planning to hollow your mind and summon a demon. By the time they're finished, you'll be nothing but a shell. The demon will take over body and soul. We must bring this vile necromancy to the Council's attention. Well, I'll tell you what's not happening. We're absolutely not boosting faith. No way, no how. Get out of here. This is an interesting one because the other nobles have the opportunity to delay the onset of the Counts, but they're not taking it. They actually want the Counts to advance in their own scheme. How bizarre. Could we put a name to this bizarre action? Spix and Noel and Effa and Hot Dog, Belly Gareth and Clero and Kujot. However, slight majority is going to block them for 1 season. It was the Count's faith, not the Grandees. Couldn't take the risk. There have been too many events where there's been knock-on effects that you don't see coming. I cannot touch faith right now. It's too dangerous. Unless it gets smacked down. They are hampered. Won't be evaluated until next season. Well, bring on next season then. There is no good reason for me to change out the votes or the laws. I already have some of the better ones, so end the year like that. Panic in the council, a wandering bard, or an escaped experiment. Oh, God. We're on tenterhooks here. We are 1 point away from the North winning. We are 1 point away from the Grandees winning. And I don't look so hot. Especially because I need to raise the military, and that's also bad for me. I'm just glad that the South are finally shutting up. Okay, what's happening in the council? Your Majesty, I bring bad news from the... How? Even here, the Grandees just won't shut up. I'm sure your news can wait. I bring urgent tidings. The North demand the Monarch's attention. Wait your turn, you ignorant dolt. All right. One at a time. Oh, well. Settle your quarrel outside. Real news from the Counts. All right, what is it? The cities of the South are being consumed with riots on a weekly basis. The North is increasingly lawless. With that military? What? My news is worth still. Judges are letting off the vilest criminals in return for the slightest bit of coin. All of these problems have arisen because the kingdom is increasingly unstable. Something must be done. What do you suggest? Must focus on one of these matters. Well now. I understand that curbing the might of the chiefs is to everybody's benefit. Truly everybody's benefit. You also want A. Yes. Basically, I don't want C. Although C is still not bad. Yeah, it's all good, but A and B are better. But which is the best? I think A is the best. Keep the Grandees out of my sight. Yeah, that does sound the best. B would also lower your scheme. Maybe. Don't want to ban B, because B is also good for keeping the chiefs out of my hair. Really, I want A or B, but not C. I might just veto C. But veto is too good to give up here. All right, well, in situations like these, it's often best to offer the money. Look, I'm actually clicking golden choice here, not the royal gamble, the golden choice that does get you money. If you agree to reign in the South, you will enjoy money. Reign in South, gain money. South don't win, you still might win. And you'll get the money to make it easier. See, look at that, realizing that they cannot win. Even the South are kowtowing to the coin. It's bizarre that this doesn't actually cost the treasury. It really should make it a bit less of a no-brainer law. Yes, break the South. Like I said, I didn't want to vote on faith unless I was certain it was going down. And it had to go down. There we go. Yeah, what do you mean they're mutinous? There we go. Bring that down. It only went down by 1. I would have liked a lot more than that, but what's a man to do? Seems to have enraged everybody else. Look at that. Teetering stability, you say? Well, this is deeply concerning. Okay, what's this experiment all about? Apparently something escaped from the cellars of the castle. I've asked for an eyewitness report. It was an unholy sight, a monster stitched together from parts dug up at the village cemetery. It was my Aunt Edna's earlobes. I see. Did it hurt anybody? No, it just seemed confused. It's my life's work, your grace, and it is my son, says Caxi Tech Tips. His escape was regrettable. I wanted to see the village up close. Rest assured I've chained him up. It will not happen again. Too late for that, Count. You and your unholy creation must be burned. Burned, you say? And this is exactly why I held onto my veto. Exactly why I held onto that veto. Although I'm a little concerned what would happen if... Yeah, okay, should have thought about that. Should have thought about that before I made my choice. Oh, dearie me. The council saw through my nefarious plot here. I'm grateful to see some people trying to boost my stability, but I somewhat suspect it's all for naught. Okay, well, time to roll that dice. Free the monster, they say. No, your grace, the boy's not ready for freedom. This will end in disaster. The council would free this unholy monstrosity and allow its twisted creator to go unpunished? What kind of message does this send? You're all mad. You'll see, doom will come to the east. Unfortunately, he was correct. Oh boy. Breaking the stability. Destroying the farming. Angry mob destroys it. My authority! No! Oh god, no! A traveling bard is tongue to compose a... It better be a good song talking about how excellent I am. I have a tune and a verse, all but ready, and my best work is for you. I require a subject. Make them fear me, please. Give me a few weeks and I'll know of your might. 500 gold? You deserve so much more than that. Ah, there we go. There we go. Get me that much-needed authority, please. A remote, unremarkable spot of moorland. Many peasants are moving east. They lose faith. Oh yeah, that. Priests do not dare show their faces in public. Most pleasing. Perfect time to make our next move. Invite a demon to possess the monarch. Okay, so I feel 3 ropes around my neck, and the lesson is getting taught. Will they raise my authority? Uh-oh. No, no, no. That's, This is illegal, you know. God. Nobody expected the counts at the final hour, with a synergistic approach to victory. Bollocks. Well, what can I do but sit and stew? If only you'd accepted God in your heart and let us win. No, never. Coctra's queen was once a favored servant of the 9th god. She betrayed him, banished to the 7 caves. Deepest caves, okay. She desires to rise to power once more. She'll be attracted to a powerful monarch whose questionable authority is unquestioned. Oh no, oh no. Okay. Well, it's all bad. It's all really, really, really bad. On top of that, things are a little dicey out there. Please! My tyranny must be What about my unpaid debt, though? Do you recall the grandee? You offered him a loan. I remember that vividly. He made bad investments. He went bankrupt again. What shall we do about the debt? Arrest him immediately. Dragged to the dungeons. My oppressive authority is there for all to see. Doesn't come close to repaying the loan, but whatever, as long as justice is served. Oh well. Oh well. Your marshal requests that you come to the war room. She has news from her troops. Listen. They're looking good, your majesty. I didn't actually have high hopes for the eastern peasants, but they actually know one end of the spear from another now. Military success. Thank you, chiefs. I really appreciate everything you did for me. The key is to make sure the armories are loyal to us, not to their region. Easier said than done, of course. I need to speak to ordinary soldiers. Grease some palms, smoke some cigars. reminisce over old war stories. They don't respect council any more than I do, but at the end of the day, Your Majesty, it'll come down to how much they respect you. I wait with bated breath, my marshal. When she returns, punches you in the arm so hard you almost puke. Is that good? Is that a happy punch? The troops are with us. They're fed up of the council passing all those namby-pamby so-called laws. It's time for an iron fist to punch this kingdom back into shape. Over the next few weeks, soldiers across the kingdom mutiny against their commanding officers, swear fealty directly to the monarch. The nobles beg for a council session to discuss the crisis, but you put them off blaming renovation of the council hall. Of course, there's one person you can't avoid, your wife. I feel a great darkness upon me to think we're seizing control of the armies of the people. I won't harm anyone, unless they stand against me. I trust you to do what's right. My beloved wife. At long last, after you're sure the armies of the kingdom are in the palm of your hand, you allow the next council session to go ahead. The final council session. The marshal stands at your right hand, flanked by a garrison of the city watch. Your honor guards flank you on the other side, ready for anything. My faceless nunnery. Is that an Iron Maiden? Most of them are looking nervous, but Conte Andy maybe looks angry. Your recent conduct has been outrageous, your grace. Unforgivable? You wanted my authority to go up, Andy. You asked for this. Delaying the council session, secret meetings, violating feudal contracts. My top officers have been killed. Let's call a vote right now to deprive you of that crown and of your head. Perhaps we should use this lever of mine. The trapdoor opens beneath. They fall into a pit of snakes. Oh, would you look at that, Count? You got your 10 authority. There's a moment of silence whilst Andy is being eaten alive by snakes. I'm sure we're all in delights to be here. I don't think we need any more votes, do we? The monarch can take over from here. Yes. Believe in Uncle Ernie. I wouldn't want to do anything unfortunate. They shuffle out, tails between their legs. You let out joyful laughter. Maybe some would describe it as an evil cackle, but those people would be dissidents, and you dealt with them harshly. Without the council holding you back, your daily duties are so easy, so efficient. Your firm grip on the kingdom will secure an excellent future for little Ernest Hecklerock. When the time comes, the reign of terror is here, but the future has only just begun. The chiefs attempt to worm their way into the palace was uncovered, and not a moment too soon. One more season, and it would have been time to pay for improvements in the realm. And I am certain that improved military for chiefs would have been one of the options. And I'm also certain that as a very fiscally motivated nation, they would have pushed that through. Anyway, arrests were made. Pewportia ended his life chained upside down to my dungeon wall. The Grandees prayed and prayed for a miracle, but no miracle came. Shortly after Monarch Ernest's reign ended, the Inquisitor raided Count Zingus's castle, placed him under arrest for evil magic. Burned and screaming the name of the seventh god, Monarch Ernest's reign spanned 15 blood-drenched years. The council couldn't defy them, fearing a gruesome fate, dark and fearful time for everyone but the monarch, who seemed to enjoy themselves immensely, especially when spikes and thumbscrews were involved. The end. Monarch Ernest the Absolutist. That was actually quite long and very, very dicey. We were very close to losing, but there were a couple of key moments there that saw it through. You just didn't see that whilst the focus was on stability, I was building up authority. Many key votes went through to improve my own authority, and it wasn't a big deal, right? Oh, the monarch needs stability, and revolting would only be bad for us. And then, before you knew it, you were all dancing in the palm of my hand. And I gotta say, that royal treasury vote, mwah, brilliant. The best thing about it, it was an accident. I actually did intend to click on the golden choice. But maybe that's just as well. Congratulations, Indigo Vlad. You are the wealthiest noble for now. We'll see about some redistribution in time. And at least Henchest tried to invest, but I actually think the Grandees ended up poorly. Their realm, yeah, it doesn't look that hot, does it? Okay, you're faithful. See how well that worked out for the patricians in the past. Smallest military. Second best farming. Middling on the trade, but look at that. The chiefs are in a strong position. I gotta say, they were very close, and next term they're gonna have a strong foundation to work with, unlike the royal treasury. That could be problematic. I'm sure you totally planned this all along, says Pepper. It's always my plan to come up with a plan on the fly. So yes. Anyway, excellent. An actual victory and a good way to start off the next round of King of the Castle. We'll run this for another 5 sessions here, and as is the case, or was the case last time, whoever comes out on top at the end shall receive VIPs across the whole chat. Currently, every VIP you see in chat right now, like Green Giant, Rohal, and Rested Pandy, are there because they came out on top in the last season as the North. But that is something to concern ourselves with next Saturday. We run these on Saturday evenings because, well, it's just turning into that kind of time. But until I am back with another stream, which should be tomorrow's weekly one-shot, it is a cheers and a cheerio.